In June 1942, the Pacific Ocean looked calm on the surface, but beneath it, the future of World War II was about to change forever. Just 6 months after Pearl Harbor, Japan believed the United States Navy was broken, frightened, and retreating. Their plan was simple and deadly: lure America's remaining aircraft carriers near a tiny island called Midway, destroy them in one decisive strike, and end the war in the Pacific before it truly began. Japan entered the battle with confidence. Their fleet was experienced, their pilots were veterans, and their commanders believed American sailors lacked discipline and skill. To them, this was supposed to be a final execution, not a fair fight. What they did not know was that American codebreakers had already cracked their plans. The United States knew where Japan would strike, when they would strike, and how confident they were. As Japanese aircraft launched their first waves, American carriers waited silently beyond the horizon. The early hours of the battle were chaotic. American torpedo bombers were sent in with outdated planes and almost no fighter cover. One by one, they were slaughtered by Japanese defenses. Entire squadrons were wiped out. From the Japanese perspective, everything was going exactly as expected. Reports came in that American attacks were weak, disorganized, and ineffective. Then, in a matter of minutes, history turned. American dive bombers, flying high above the clouds, arrived at the exact wrong time for Japan. Japanese decks were crowded with aircraft, fuel lines were open, bombs were exposed, and defenses were scattered. One carrier was hit, then another, then another. Fire exploded across the decks. Akagi, Keiga, and Soryu were burning uncontrollably. The pride of the Japanese Navy was being destroyed almost instantly. By the end of the battle, 4 Japanese aircraft carriers were lost. Japan's elite pilots, trained over years, were gone forever. The United States lost 1 carrier, but Japan lost its ability to dominate the Pacific. This was not just a defeat, it was a shock. Across the world, military leaders tried to understand what had just happened. In Germany, senior officers studied the reports with growing concern. Until now, America had been seen as an industrial giant, but an untested military power. Midway shattered that illusion. German generals reportedly acknowledged that the United States had proven something far more dangerous than numbers or factories. They had proven adaptability, intelligence, and nerve. One German officer reportedly remarked that losing experienced carrier pilots was something Japan could never truly recover from. Ships could be rebuilt, factories could replace steel, but skill, instinct, and battle-hardened leadership could not be recreated overnight. To them, Midway signaled that the Axis powers were now facing an enemy that learned fast and hit hard. In Japan, the reaction was even more severe. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, the architect of Pearl Harbor, understood the truth immediately. He knew this was not a temporary setback. It was the moment Japan lost strategic initiative. From this point on, Japan would fight defensively, reacting to American moves rather than controlling the war. For the United States, commanders like Chester W. Nimitz understood that Midway was not the end, but the beginning. The victory gave America confidence, momentum, and belief. Sailors who had once fought in fear now fought with purpose. The myth of Japanese naval invincibility was destroyed. Midway proved something deeper than military strength. It proved that wars are not won by arrogance, but by preparation, not by reputation, but by information, not by past victories, but by the ability to adapt when everything is on the line. From that moment forward, the war in the Pacific moved in one direction, island by island, battle by battle, slowly, relentlessly, toward Japan itself. Long before the final surrender, many commanders already knew the truth. The war had changed course at Midway. The ocean was silent again, but history was not. And the echoes of that battle would shape the world for generations to come.